lot easier for me to deal with during the week before the meeting. So if you email me that stuff, I will do whatever I can to fix that sort of thing before we get. Because now at 8 o'clock, I have limited time to kind of.
But here's an important thing: is that's done manually. So they literally are choosing not to show our faces.
I hear. I'm on.
Okay. So what were you referring this to?
I'm saying like the headphone thing. I did not hear about that until this second.
All right,
I can't go down there and check and talk to them now.
All right, but you seem like you were annoyed with me, and
No.
I didn't understand that you meant the headset, but you're gonna get that fixed.
I'm gonna look into the speaker thing.
All right, thank you. All right, so that's the attorney, named Thomas Slattery, and let's see if he does the right thing here. We just want him to do the right thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's really simple. All right, and thank you so much for joining us, everybody. And please smash that like button. And any super chats will be greatly appreciated. And we got Mikey's link there, which is good. And Mikey's social justice water pipe, who I've called social justice warrior many times, which he is a social justice.
I am a social justice
warrior with a water pipe. So better than a water slide. Okay, we got to crazy glue our microphones there.
We have to Sam proof it, like gluing it.
Right.
Sam Prince proof.
Sam Prince he wouldn't show his face today. Oh, by the way, the police walked away from me. I thought he was going to check on if Sam sent the check over, and he ran away from me.
Really?
And this guy here, like, what the heck?
And the other officer is here I've never seen before. So the normal dudes that are normally here are not here.
Oh, they got specials.
Hopefully they don't do nothing stupid.
No. Hey, why did you walk away from me when I was asking you if that check came in? I thought you were going to check if Sam Prince's check came in.
I have no idea.
So why did you walk away from me?
I have no idea.
So why didn't you say that, sir, instead of walking away from me? That was very rude of you. No, I would give you respect, and I respect the same thing. And you're a lieutenant. You should know better. What's your name, Lieutenant what? What's your badge number? Go ahead. You can do it. Be brave. What's your badge number and your name? You know, it's your policy to identify yourself, sir. I'm really disappointed. Like, I'm going to do a complaint on you. It's unfortunate. I want to do celebrations on police. Why are you laughing? You think that's funny? You're the one that's looking bad here. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, he wouldn't give his name or his badge number. Wow, the disdain. The Cranford police are terrible. And he's a lieutenant. How did he get to be a lieutenant? I mean, this is just a shame.
How did anyone get to where they are in New Jersey, Leroy?
No. So, CORRUPTIONN.
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay. So we're going to get started in a minute here. And please smash that like button, everybody. Smash. It's getting quiet like it's going to be a church here, so stay tuned here. Okay. It's getting very quiet.
I'll public mic up so that way we can try to hear more.
Okay. All right. Ow.
This meeting is in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, as adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by email and scheduled meetings. To the rest of the formal action.
Stand by, guys. I have an idea. Take Kirami. That's what I was looking for.
Let's see, which stood up? Not like Terrence Curran.
President Jimmy Carter, who said, "We have become not a nothing, but a beautiful mosaic. Different people, different beliefs, different yearnings, different hopes, different dreams. Cranford is an amazing town, filled with lifelong residents, as well as those who moved here and now call Cranford home. back, have different beliefs, different journeys and such. However, we all want the same thing, to see our town prosper now and going forward. To all residents, volunteers, municipal employees, business owners, and their employees, thank you for making Cranford an amazing place to live, and visit each and every day. Cranford is proof that people from different backgrounds, origins, ethnic groups can work together to keep the fibers of our being into the great township that we call Cranford. And that we call Cranford. Cranford is proof that people from different backgrounds, origins,
What's that now? Is it working?
Yeah. I'm also streaming their feed so we can
I
hear
can
what
have
they're saying.
members of the Shade Tree Commission come on up. Whereas in 1872, the Nebraska established a special day to be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. Whereas trees can be a solution to combating climate change by reducing erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cutting heating and cooling costs, moderating the temperature, cleaning the air, producing life-giving oxygen, and providing habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. Whereas trees in our township increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now, therefore, I, Kathleen Miller Prunty, Mayor of the Township of Cranford, do hereby proclaim April 24th, 2026 as Arbor Day in Cranford. And I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support the efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. Encourage everyone to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. Issued this 21st day of April, 2026. And we have with us here today Eric Hostrup, Shade Tree Superintendent, and Pat Bowler from the Shade Tree Commission. Do you want to say a few words?
Thank you, Mayor. On Saturday, we will be planting 4 trees with the help of about 15 Girl Scouts, 2 different troops. We'll be at Sherman Field planting 4 different trees that we're going to be getting from dryers. This is our 3rd time accepting the proclamation from the mayor. And the Shade Tree Commission is made up of 9 volunteers, and they do an extremely tough job. They put in a lot of their volunteer time. Monday through Friday, and even on the weekends. Pat is out there marking out trees. I've seen her with white spray paint cans, marking out areas for trees to be planted. So if you're interested in having a tree planted, you go to our township website, go to the web page for the Shade Tree Commission, left side, drop down bar, and you would fill out the quick questionnaire of about 5 different questions to be put into the queue to be considered for a tree to be planted. So
Thank you. Just
thank
hold
you.
on.
Yep.
Take a picture.
No problem.
So almost as a follow-up to the deputy mayor's invocation, this past Saturday, we had close to 100 residents who came out for the annual Rahway River cleanup. And they spend hours picking up trash and debris on and around the banks of the river at 7 different locations around town. I can only assume people are becoming more conscious and respectful of their surroundings because we did not have nearly as much trash as we have had in the past. However, there were a few interesting items that were pulled out of the river: an Adirondack chair, a sled, a boombox, some horseshoes. But I want to thank the families that came out: Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, Cranford High School students, members of the Cranford hockey team, the Newcomers Club, and JC. So check the township's Facebook page. We have a slideshow of all of the volunteers who were out there working. These volunteers who were here Saturday, as well as Pat Vogler and members of the Shade Tree Commission and countless other boards and committees, are what Cranford is about. And because of them, we are such an outstanding community. And speaking of volunteerism, it is a hallmark of Cranford. And every year, hundreds of people serve on various boards and committees in town, and they contribute their time, their ideas, and their expertise on projects to make Cranford even better. And I want to thank Deputy Mayor Gallo for a suggestion. And at future meetings, we will invite a member of one of the various boards and committees to come and speak at a meeting to talk about what they do, and if they have a special project that they're working on, to talk about it. So it's just a way to keep the public informed of what all these wonderful volunteers are doing. So commissioner comments, public safety.
Thank you, Mayor. Start with 2 quick committee updates as we're talking about volunteerism. Our Cranford Prevention and Wellness team will be attending Wellness Day at the high school on Thursday, April 30th from 9:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. And the team is also finalizing a plan to host their annual game night in May. So look out for some further details on that to be reported shortly. Another reminder regarding Touch a Truck, the event being put on by our Cranford Community Connection. This free event is taking place on Sunday, May 31st from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at 65 Jackson Drive. I'll provide another update at the next meeting as well, as a reminder. Previously, we mentioned that we're recruiting both new and PTC certified officers for the Cranford Police Department. And I'm pleased to report that the ongoing recruitment process has been very successful and is actively underway. So thank you to all those who applied, seeking to use their strengths and skills for the betterment of our community. Recently, I've also heard some concerns regarding parking numbers needing painting in town. They have become difficult to read, but we're in the process of our yearly upkeep on these efforts, and I should have more updates at our next meeting on that. Some of you may have seen some of the new gray pylons installed in areas of our downtown. I'm going to get more information in the next week about how the process works, but I did want to mention it because people are seeing it around town. So I'll provide a more comprehensive update at our next meeting. It's a new enforcement system, and it's just one enhancement that the township is using to increase pedestrian safety through the use of technology and available tools. We also have quite a few departments within Cranford that seek to utilize grant funding for initiatives in town. With that said, the CPD is continuing to apply for and receive grants to conduct pedestrian and distracted driving enforcement. This goes towards finding more ways that we can enhance pedestrian safety in town at minimal or no cost to the public. And the last update from the police department: this Saturday, April 25th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the rear lot here in the municipal building, CPD will be taking part in the DEA's National Prescription Drug Takeback. If you have any expired or longer used medication, you may drop these off this weekend. Unfortunately, it's not an event for liquids or injectables. However, events like this do keep these medications out of the hands of potential abusers, as well as out of the hands of minors. And lastly, a message from our fire department to remember to clean your lint filters and dryer vents. If you're a higher risk of having closed dryer fire than if you don't. Springtime's a great opportunity to clean debris from your lint trap, exhaust duct to prevent these fires. A few quick tips to prevent a dryer fire: don't use a dryer without a lint filter. Always clean the lint filter before and after each cycle. Do not forget to clean the back of the dryer where the lint can build up. Check the venting system behind the dryer to make sure it is not damaged, crushed, or restricted. Make sure that the outdoor vent covering opens when the dryer is operating, and when possible, have your dryer installed and serviced by a professional. And as always, if residents have any questions or need assistance, please contact Fire Headquarters at 908-709-7360. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. I just want to follow on to the proclamation. Anybody who knows me knows you can't talk about trees enough. So the Cranford Shade Tree Commission really does a fantastic job here in town. It was only started a couple of years ago, but they've made great strides in preventing some of the loss and greening Cranford. So they recently released their 2025 to 2029 Cranford Community Forest Plan. This is a 5-year roadmap for the care, the maintenance, expansion of trees on township property, while also guiding future planting efforts. So prior to this, the establishment of the Cranford Shade Tree Commission, we had lost about 1,000 trees over a 10-year period with very little replanting. Since its formation, the commission has worked to reverse that trend, planting over 250 trees in the last 2 years, and just recently on last Friday, we planted another 30. 4 more will be planted this Saturday, and then in the fall, an additional 60. So we really encourage residents to plant trees as well on their own property. They play a crucial role, as the mayor said, in maintaining a healthy and resilient community. They improve air quality, they reduce stormwater runoff by helping absorb water, they lower energy costs, and just it's nice to have a tree on your property. So we encourage you to do that. You can also donate through the Cranford website. There's a donation account available. You can plant in honor of a loved one, or just make a donation to the Cranford Shade Tree Commission. The pools, okay, 33 days to go until the Cranford Community Pool opens at Orange Avenue. There's significant work underway to ensure a safe, fun, and enjoyable summer season. A lot of the pool maintenance has been completed, painting is ongoing, the grounds are being landscaped, the locker rooms are being thoroughly cleaned, lighting is being upgraded, the courts will be upgraded, the baby pool and splash pad will also have some enhancements. Because the pool is a membership-funded facility, community participation is essential. So I encourage residents to look at what's available, sign up for the pool. I do think it's a very good value for the money. And strong membership can help ensure that the township will be able to make year-over-year improvements in the facility and maintain a high-quality destination for the summer recreation at a reasonable price. So current membership levels are on par with the 2024 season. Last year, 2025, there was a lot of media attention and discussion around the pool, so the membership sign up was sort of front loaded. We had, at this point last year, 986 memberships, but in 2024 at this time, we had 562 memberships. Currently, we have 534, so a slight drop from 2024. It is important to note that 2024 and 2025 ended the year with the same amount of memberships, so there's no significant increase. So I do encourage people to come out. I think it's going to be a great season, and really encourage you to support the pools. The Cranford Memorial Day Parade will take place on Monday, May 25th, 2026, to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation. If you're interested in participating, you can contact the Cranford Recreation Department or email them at recreation@cranfordnj.org. That's also available on the website. It's an easy click and an easy sign up. The Cranford Summer Recreation brochure is now available on the Cranford Recreation website. Registration for programs opens on Monday, April 27th. So there's a variety of programs for children, adults, seniors, and I encourage everyone to take a look and take advantage of what is being offered. And then finally, the Velocity Centennial Village Group Velocity 5K is being run in early June, June 10th. I've made a commitment to run it, and I'm trying to get people to join up and run with me and make sure that I make it across the finish line. And also just to support the Centennial Village Group. It's their big fundraiser for the year. So I encourage people to get your running shoes out, and I'm sure I'll be behind you and I'll be able to push you forward. So thank you.
Thanks, Mayor. Just a few updates from me tonight. The weather has finally mostly turned, which of course means it is time to do some road paving. One, we cannot pave everywhere. So if there's a pothole in your neighborhood or one that you drive past that you want our Department of Public Works to take a look at and fill in, please get in touch directly with them. They have been out for the past few weeks now, filling potholes throughout town. They have a list going. They let the list get a certain kind of critical mass, and then they'll go out and take care of them in a batch. So please report in. But more importantly, we have some big road paving projects that are going to be starting very soon. We've talked about Union County redoing a number of their roads. They started last year. Their work is going to pick up again as early as next week for some big ones in town, starting with Springfield Avenue right outside this building, and then moving down to South Avenue. We're still working out the specifics, although notifications started going out to residents today, as well as notifications to the township today. They're likely to start the Springfield Avenue repaving work next week. This is going to be night work. They will likely go from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. Cranford Police Department has been in touch with them, and they're coordinating on detours because obviously this is going to be very disruptive. This will probably be about 2 weeks of work or a little bit less. They're expecting to go April 27 through May 8th, but they might be ending a little bit early there. And then after they're done with Springfield, they're going to be going to South Avenue. That will also be night work, probably about the same hours. And they're going to be going from Centennial Avenue down to the Roselle border. We are still confirming a lot of this. We were just notified by Union County today that this was the plan. So we will be sure to get out on the township website, the newsletter, the specifics once we 100% lock them down. But given how disruptive this could be, we want to get the information out today as quickly as we could. Just want to flag 2 items that are in resolutions to vote on tonight. The first, we are going out to bid for a new library front door and for the second floor window replacement. So as you know, we're doing a very large library renovation project. This is not technically part of that project, but we do want, since we're putting so much effort into the children's room and some other areas, we want to do as many improvements at the same time as we can. So this is not part of the formal project, but we do want to get it done. The reason it is on our agenda is costs continue to balloon. It is insane how expensive it is to get stuff done at the township level right now. Our hope and our plan was that the contractor doing the renovation was going to be able to do this as a plus up for us. Their budget, based on just the supplies, went up 10,000, 60,000 from when we started the discussion with them to now. That is just not sustainable. So we're going to go out to bid. We're going to look to see if we can get a better price. But it does speak to like your cost of living, our family cost of living, but also township costs are just ballooning at this point. So we're hopeful that we will get good bids and that this will be part of our grand unveil when the library reopens. Finally, wanted to flag the desilting project that I spoke a little bit about at the last meeting. So we got the permit from the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. This means we're allowed to remove the soil and restore the natural riverbed in key areas in the river. We are going out to bid tonight to get proposals from contractors to actually do this work for us. The mayor and I are going to do a more extensive update for the community once we actually have the contractor on board, the locations that they're able to do, and other details ironed out, like the timing. So please stay tuned, and we will. I very much. The mayor and I have been working on this now for 3 years, so we very much look forward to providing a more comprehensive update, hopefully very soon. That's it. Thank you.
Can you just repeat those hours of paving, those night hours?
Yes. So the township's preference is 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. That's when we say night work here. So that is what we have conveyed to our friends at Union County. That is certainly our position. We are going to resolve all this, and we'll get all that information out once it's all set.
Okay, I just want to remind everybody that we are in an important time between introduction and adoption of our annual budget. We have taken a few questions from residents already. I encourage anybody who has more questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself, to the finance department. We'll be happy to discuss. Other than that, I did want to follow on the discussion of the pool. We did create the Centennial Avenue Task Force. We haven't forgotten about that property, and we want to make sure that we do good things for the community there. We don't know what that is. Pool, no pool, part pool, whatever. We have not had any discussions on the committee about what to do, but we are taking feedback from last year's discussion in how do you decide you're going to do something at a site without having the discussion first. So this is our attempt to have residents and community members, a very big cross-section of the community, have that discussion without any input from the township committee. Mayor Prunty and I sat with the group yesterday. We were there for a total of maybe 15 minutes just to kind of introduce themselves, introduce them to each other, and kind of set the stage for them to go and hopefully have a productive few months of discussion. But they have been told this, you know, they think outside the box. There's no good, no bad, just to then with the goal at the end, we've asked for about 6 months, definitely by the end of the year, to have some kind of output from them in the form of a report documenting some of the ideas that they felt were documentable, and pros and cons of each. So there were more details too there, but just want to let you know those conversations are going on. They may be reaching out to cross sections of the community. They were encouraged to do so, to get as much feedback as we can. So other than that, at the last meeting, our Revolution New Jersey committee has been busy planning events through the year to celebrate the 250th anniversary. They have another event there that they would like to encourage. One of our local historians from the Cranford Historical Society, Vic Barry, is going to be giving a presentation on May 5th at 7 p.m., which unfortunately happens to conflict with our township committee meeting. So you'll have to choose which one you'd rather be at. But it is entitled Cranford in the American Revolution. Vic's a great speaker, so I encourage everybody to attend. And with that, I think I'm done.
We have professional comments. Mrs. Donahue, anything?
Thank you, Mayor. The county election office, the Union County Election Office, with the director, Nicole Dorado, has requested that we let people know they're looking for poll workers, especially Republican and bilingual poll workers. Don't hesitate to contact Nicole Dorado at the county, or certainly can contact me and my office if you have any, if you need contact information. Thank you.
Mr. Slattery?
Good evening, everyone. Members of the public, you'll notice resolution number 2026-191 is on for tonight. That's a request to the planning board to evaluate certain properties on South Avenue for designation as a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment. The certain properties are what's known as the E.F. Britton site over there. I think we'd all agree that's a spot that could use some help in turning itself around and getting repurposed for a more modern fit. So that is all part of our Round 4 affordable housing plan. It's the only site in town where we're doing that specific kind of potential designation. It'll go from here, if adopted, to the planning board. We should hear back from them in a month, maybe a little more than a month. And that'll help us in compliance to make sure that we don't have any builder's remedy issues with Round 4, and also put us on a good track to make better use of the property at some point in the future. Thanks.
Thank you. Ms. Patterson? Public comments pursuant to the Code of the Township of Cranford, Article 1, Section 72-4. Persons addressing the Township Committee shall be allowed a maximum of 5 minutes for their presentations. Before we begin, I just want to share a few reminders. that loudspeakers, bullhorns, amplified sound equipment are not permitted. Any props and signs must be removed once a speaker has concluded. We ask you please not to block the front row if you're with your camera equipment or tripods, to either stand at the side or in the back of the room. If you are attaching a microphone, your own microphone to our microphone, we ask that it remain there. Mr. Thilly, can you please be seated? We ask that it remain there, remain in place until public comments have concluded. So the purpose of this, so there's no interference and disruption to any other speaker who is addressing the Township Committee. Shouting and yelling from the audience will not be permitted. Everyone in this room has an opportunity to come to the microphone and speak.
Yeah, he's speaking. He's getting ready.
Shouting.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mr.
stop.
Philly, please
Stop,
sit
go ahead.
down until you're ready to speak, and take that
You're ready. Get it.
Take
Put
that
on
in the back, it's
mic
blocking
video.
the aisle. Mr. Thilly, please take that out of the aisle until you're ready to speak. Thank you.
First Amendment. First Amendment.
We ask everyone to respect those in attendance and those watching at home or on TV 35 or on Facebook, and refrain from using profane language. And we appreciate your cooperation. We are all here for the purpose of conducting official township business. Residents and members of the public have an opportunity to ask questions, share their concerns, learn about any projects and work that the Township Committee is doing. It is my hope, and it is shared by members of this Township Committee,
Okay.
that we can
Put it
conduct
to
this
Mike.
meeting,
Mine now,
including
Will.
public comments, in a civil, respectful, and
So Will
productive manner.
Yeah, he's getting all
With
set
that,
up.
if
Candidate.
anyone wishes to address the Township Committee, please step forward.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Hi, my name is Will Thilly, and I'm running in the contested Democratic primary for a spot on the Township Committee. To win, I will need everyone's support, please. Mail-in ballots for Democrats arrive this week, and I humbly ask for your vote. It says choose two on the ballot, but please vote for only me to help my chances even more. And I thank you very much. Now, tonight, I've prepared a top 10 list of what I will do for you when I am on the committee. Number one, I will work to lower your taxes substantially. To do this, I will work to cancel the multiple 30-year tax exemptions, AKA pilots, in town. We absolutely have this authority, and I will use it to make developers pay the over $200 million in taxes they owe, so that us residents do not have to. I will also work to stop borrowing money, AKA issuing bonds every other week. Bonding only increases our debt while allowing the Township Committee a legal loophole to raise our taxes by over 7% or more when the bonds come due. It's a sneaky trick committees do to get around the 3% tax increase cap, and I will not allow it. I will work to make Cranford profitable, with all revenue going back to the residents in lower taxes. For example, we've been contacted about having our own town meetings and government happenings be produced as a reality show / docuseries. They think it'll be more popular than Cops, which made over $500 million, by the way. That'd go a long way to reducing our taxes. We're thinking TV 35 could be nationally syndicated. Oh, and by the way, I will waive any salary if elected and truly be the volunteer Commissioner Curran wants me to be.
Yeah, wonderful.
Number two, I will make our schools the #1 schools in the nation. We will attract top academia of the world to our doorsteps with guest lectures and student access to renowned research leaders so that our children can get a taste before they head to college. Cranford will be known as an academic powerhouse. I will also make school more fun and less stressful for both our students and teachers. And most importantly, I will stop the bullying in our schools so that all our children may learn in peace. Number three, I will stop and work to stop the planned data center in Kenilworth at the Merck site from completion and receiving a $250 million tax break. If you build it, you will pay taxes. It's horrible for the environment. It pollutes our groundwater, raises electric bills, noise pollution for miles, and makes higher taxes for all of us in the county. We will commit to a full-on protest. But why did our committee not tell us about this disaster? They've known about it for years. Who are they helping? We should all demand answers. I will never hide this type of stuff from our residents. And lastly, and I say this to everybody, I will be someone who truly cares about you and who will fight for you by any means necessary, including, but not limited to, interpretive dance. Thank you all very much.
Excellent. Let it go. Excellent job, Will. Will Philly. Candidate for councilman. Wonderful. She's rushing him to get rid of his soapbox. He only has 2 legs, as far as I know.
Jim Carvalho, Cranford. High noon at the whorehouse. 35 years ago, a guy named O'Rourke wrote a book called Parliament of Whores. His whores sat in the US Congress. Our whores sit right here in this room. The whorehouse pimp and madam are called Cooper and Kowalski. On my way to its last meeting here, that's right, the brothel's business is conducted right here, I passed an open door that's usually closed. It's a door that opens into the so-called mayor's chambers, a room hidden behind this room's dais. Through that door, I saw 2 people, a tall guy with a paunch and a punchy grin, and a short guy dressed like a leprechaun. The punchy guy was, of course, Terrence Curran, the clownish commissioner seated on the dais tonight. The leprechaun was new to me, but his getup gave him up as a likely piece of Curran's partisan parade, which means he just might be a Mick. But since he was kissing Curran's ring, he was likely no O'Rourke. When I am in a gin joint, I seek a seat with a clear view of the door, the room, the back bar, and bar. I call it the pimp's chair. During the brothel business conducted here last time, machine Madam Kowalski installed herself in this room's pimp's chair. That chair is right here to the right of the lectern. It's a seat that gives her a heckler's perch and her minions a good view of her. And with that view, they know what to do and when. When whoremonger Kowalski stands up to walk out, her stable of strumpets forms a partisan parade. The parade begins, of course, with the first note of the national anthem. That's right. The Cooper Kowalski supplicants summoned to this room for precisely this reason walk out not when they dislike what's been said, but when they dislike what's been played. What they dislike is this country's national anthem. Remaining in the room while the anthem is played, some of us stand while a few remain seated. But unlike the lemmings who've left the room, those seated for the song have my respect. That's because those who remain seated have enough self-respect to not be used as partisan tools performing for the corrupt Cooper, Kowalski, and Curran. Indeed, I do not stand for this machine's so-called invocation, that incantation muttered by a machine medicine man at the start of the brothel business here. I refuse to stand for that voodoo for a number of reasons. First, it's usually doggerel. Second, it's often political. Third, it's frequently partisan. And fourth, I bow my head to no one, certainly not the God of government. To stand or not stand is a respectable personal choice. To walk out in a plainly partisan parade is not. When the parade of liberal lemmings was in full marching mode, I took note of the platoon members. Among those machine tool marchers was Jason Garris. Garris, of course, is a former elected member of this committee and a devoted machine mandarin. He's also a government shyster. Garris quit his elected job on this dais in mid-term to return to his previous employer, the Union County Prosecutor's Office. That's right. A committee quitter who now has the power to spy, indict, and convict had no qualms about besmirching himself and his office in public in a purely partisan protest. Also among the marchers was the elected chairman of the Cranford Board of Education, William Hulse. After I outed Garris and Hulse by title, I confronted Hulse, who had returned after the anthem. Hulse said that he left at the start of the anthem to use the restroom. When I asked him why he didn't go past the lobby, he changed his story. Now his story was that he left at the start of the anthem to say goodbye to someone. He mentioned a name meaningless to me. After the meeting, Hulse approached me, this time with a partner in tow. The partner was Hulse's alibi. What the elected chairman of the Board of Ed failed to realize was that he had just outed his alibi. His alibi was Curran's leprechaun, who turned out to be, as predicted, no O'Rourke, but someone called Bob Bruns, the Grand Marshal of Curran's newly minted Mick Parade. That's right. The Cooper, Kowalski, Curran cabal's platoon of machine supplicants includes a county prosecutor, the elected chair of the Board of Ed, and the Grand Marshal of the St. Patrick's Day Parade, all three of whom besmirched themselves and their titles to march out of this room at the start of the national anthem, at the behest of the corrupt Cooper, Kowalski, Curran cabal. The whores out there just rent their holes. The whores in here have sold their souls.
Wow, yeah.
Good evening. I'm Paul Argen, and I live in Newton, New Jersey. In 1999, I bought several properties in Cranford, New Jersey, 27 North Avenue, 26, 28, and 30 North Avenue East, right next to the train station. Today, they had a session, a closed session, executive session, the committee calls it, and I want to address what occurred in closed session regarding my property at 27 North Avenue. And whatever was discussed is now part of the factual record. The Township of Cranford, New Jersey currently holds title to private property without paying compensation, without paying just compensation. It's a constitutional taking. It's a federal constitutional taking. In New Jersey, it's only a taking if it's eminent domain. But on the federal law, in Nick versus Township of Scott, the Supreme Court, right in the 3rd District here, the Supreme Court of the United States made clear that the violation occurs the moment the property is taken without compensation or just compensation. And that's particularly what happened in my case with all of my properties within Cranford. To date, my family and I have not received a dime for this property. And there could be gossip, and they can say, Miss Mayor Prunty, respectfully, she knows the people that I was involved with because she was involved with them too from 2004 or 5, I believe. But the fact here is that the factual record speaks for itself. Within a month after closing, that we sold the property to Cranford, the town secretly went to these people that turned out to be, one of them a $300 million fraudster, another person that was involved was a $100 million fraudster, in jail for it. On September 19th, 2020, I got 2 people, including a local attorney, arrested for trafficking my personal identifying information to knowingly do harm without authority. In Nick versus Township, the Supreme Court made clear that the violation occurs the moment it takens, and it continues and it covers the entire duration of the taking. The closing occurred on that property December 3rd of 2015. Okay, my family has been put through the ringer of litigation, financial decimation. The town knows the gossip of what would happen, but the record speaks for itself. Who holds title to the property? Was there just compensation? I've sustained financial damages exceeding $10,000 per month, in which the town was paying me rent just for the parking lot across the street prior to the sale. And I had a $3.9 million a year business that we had. I've asked Mr. Slattery to refrain from calling the name of my business the MDTV building. I never authorized anybody since 1998 when we came to Cranford, where we consolidated our Red Bank location and our Pompton Lakes location into this beautiful town. And by the way, it is nice people, beautiful people. There's serious questions regarding the validity of the title transfer, the role of third parties that we just talked about, and whether inaccurate information influenced the outcome. It doesn't make a difference. There's a federal takings. And in January of 2025, there's something called the Roberto II, where the Supreme Court of New Jersey now recognized the federal rules that state that as litigation is ongoing, they can now hear cases about the federal takings. These issues will be examined. So tonight, the situation does remain unresolved. The township hold properties in their name without any compensations. The damages continues. The legal exposure grows, and it grows, but there is still an opportunity to resolve this, and I am willing to engage. I'm willing to participate in a fair resolution, whether that includes return of title, compensation, and settlement. But I will not accept the process where my property is taken and decisions are made without compensation. For instance, one of the questions that I'm going to have, Mr. Slattery, is why in the executive session, item E, proposed ordinance permitting and usage of township property, the township attorney Slattery did not discuss that in the executive session. I got two more lines. No, actually, that's it. The township has a choice. Let me get this page here. Continue down the path towards federal litigation or state litigation or exposure, or we could resolve this. We could resolve this through discussion and settlement. I'm willing to do that. You have my phone number. And I intend to enforce whatever rights I can. And I appreciate your time. And thank you very much.
Good job. Yeah.
Hello, guys. I'm Don Sweeney, one of the organizers of the Cranford 86 project and a longtime member of the Memorial Day Parade Committee. I wanted to take advantage of the TV 35 coverage of tonight's public forum and share some of what will be going on just 4 weeks from this coming Monday on Memorial Day. We want to encourage all Cranford residents and those of the many surrounding towns who watch the township's meetings to join us for what we feel is the finest parade and ceremony anywhere. Since 1921, the Memorial Day in Cranford has given generations of residents as either participants or attendees the opportunity to show respect to our fallen military on the one day of the year set aside for this very important observance. It is a day to take a few hours out and remember that freedom isn't free. The VFW Color Corps leads an orderly procession of our veterans, first responders, bands, civic groups, scouts, sports teams, and more in our yearly Memorial Day Parade as it meanders through the streets of our township. The parade ends at Memorial Park on Springfield Avenue, and this is where the most meaningful part of the day's events occur. The current Memorial Day ceremony contains all the traditional features which longtime residents remember from their youth. The precision movements of the honor guard, the laying of the wreaths, the poignant of playing of taps, the riverside tribute for those lost at sea, and the roll call of Cranford's Fallen. The smoothing but powerful selection sung by Cranford's High School Madrigals Ensemble and the high school band's uplifting and patriotic instrumentals punctuate the program. A new element to the morning added in recent years is the presence of Gold Star family members from out of town. These are sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, cousins, and other family members of the men whose names are etched in bronze at Cranford's longstanding memorial tablets. These family members have been located by the Cranford 86 team during the research process that occurs when the Cranford 86 project writes about one of our town's fallen heroes. In most instances, the family has only a vague idea of the serviceman's history, and the project is able to fill in the details for them. Last year, we hosted over 50 members of families of our fallen heroes that we have honored. The matriarch of the family of Lieutenant Robert Tuttle, a World War II airman who died in 1944, said of her family's experience, everyone was on cloud nine. Your town should be getting national attention. 3 generations of the family attended from Virginia, totaling 16 people. Catherine Steers joined us from New York City. Her uncle, Tech Sergeant James Lascelles, he was MIA until 2002 when her dad's DNA was used to identify the remains that were recovered from a mountaintop in New Guinea. She thanked our town for unveiling her uncle's story that was unknown for so long. Her son carried James' Gold Star flag in the parade. 80-year-old Richard Mager said of the ceremony, one of the most tremendous and exhilarating events of my lifetime, and perhaps the most touching of our Gold Star family visits. We were joined by Richard and his brother, Kenneth Mager, sons of World War II infantryman Private Stephen Mager. Richard was an infant and his brother, Kenneth, had not yet been born when their father died in Europe. This year again, we will be hosting families of the 2026 honorees. The family of 2nd Lieutenant Bruce Nostron will be joining us from Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Lieutenant, as his family calls him, was just 24 years old when he flew 30 strafing missions and bombing missions in World War II, each time turning enemy infrastructures into burning junkyards. The Nostrons have several family members named after their lieutenant, including one that they will be meeting for the first time on Memorial Day. From South Carolina, we will welcome the daughter of a Green Beret Captain Joe Whalen, Charlotte Whalen Stillwell. She will be accompanied by her immediate family, her husband, Major General Robert Stillwell, daughters Ellie and Dee, and their first son, Lieutenant Joseph Whalen Stillwell, named in honor of our hometown hero. Charlotte was only 18 months when her father died in Vietnam when leading a special forces mission deep behind enemy lines. Also in attendance will be other Gold Star family members who faithfully chose to return to spend this solemn occasion in Memorial Park. The Memorial Park in Cranford is always and always will be part of the Cranford's fabric. Gather your friends and neighbors for a morning of patriotism and gratitude. It's truly time well spent. Our parade steps off from the community center on Walnut Avenue at 9 a.m. on Monday, May 25th. And like the signs around town say, follow the parade to the ceremony. Thank you for giving me the time to talk about such an important event.
Yeah. Thank you. Beautiful.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Janet Symbolic Ashnaltz, and I have something very nice to share. I'm also a member of the Cranford 86 project with Don, and I'm also on the Memorial Park Redesign Committee and the Memorial Day Parade Committee. And these efforts are all dear to my heart, as my brother-in-law, Ray Ashnault, is one of Cranford's 86 fall. So I would like to make the township officials aware of a gift that is being given to Cranford in honor of a Cranford resident who had an idea that literally changed the course of world history. For those who don't know who this could be, I speak of Curtis Cullen, CHS class of 1935, who coincidentally graduated high school with my uncle, Steve Symbolic. They must have been in homeroom together right behind each other. Curtis Cullen was a part of the D-Day invasion, and he found the solution to a problem which was preventing the advancement of Allied tanks across Europe. The European countryside consisted of centuries-old farm fields bordered by massive hedgerows. The hedgerows were 15-foot tall walls of dirt, rocks,